The King and the Crocodile. Sort of. Revealed, reviewed, compared, up next on... Hey folks, I'm Victor, your Gen X host. This is PopCon. Thanks for coming back to join me. On today's show, we're going to reveal, review, and compare MOTU Origins, Wave Mates, King Randor, and Whiplash. How do they hold up to the original? Are you going to run out and get one? Do you even have a clue? Well, let me know in the comments. And while you're there, click the like. I know you know where it is. And by the way, while you're down there, help this channel grow. Click subscribe. I really appreciate it. And for those who already have, thanks for sticking with me. Oh, what is this all about? It's about these two, of course. All right, well, here's the packaging. And to start off, I am pissed. I'm sick of these big bad toy store products without any copy. Nothing. No subheading under their name, no little description on the back art, and no story to read, not even blank speech bubbles in the mini comic. Not that they're well written, but gosh darn it, I want the whole shebang when I purchase these things. It is true that Big Bad Toy Store does have them listed as multi-language packaging. However, I was unaware that some languages have no written word, because why? I guess having the 40th logo is something. Not sure what, but something. Because they do have 15 different languages just to tell me there is a mini comic with no words. So I can't even read it. It's like a silent movie. Although to be perfectly honest, I could make up a better story for these things. I am not kidding. Have you read the sophomore tripe? All right, but enough of that. But let's look at this art on the back and compare it to the original action figures art and then rip open these bad boys. Now, speaking of rip, King Randor came with this careless tear along the back. That is an outrage! Then again, I'm just gonna toss this shit out anyway. Speaking of the art on the back for MOTU Origins, King Randor seems to be with other royal figures or leaders of many different races. There's at least 4 different characters that have not been made in the Masters of the Universe Origins line. It's a far cry from the original Randor's card art, which shows you how late he was in the line because he's standing on Grey Skull Tower or Central Tower there and Viper Tower in the back. So this was about the same time that the original Eternian playset came out. Now, obviously they look very similar, which is what we like. Now this artwork really bright and colorful. Whiplash is showing hitting Fisto with his massive tail, and in the background you do have He-Man dressed in battle armor coming to the rescue. The artwork is so much more dynamic and clear and bright when you compare it to the original, which has a very Dungeons and Dragons, has a very Frank Frazetta, has a very rough, almost comic feel. But look, it's almost identical in pose with Whiplash. You kind of get a peek at that top tooth as well, but no Fisto. However, it is battle armor He-Man, which I do appreciate that they really kept that one very much an homage to the original. Well, nothing much else to see there, so here we go. I have Whiplash here. We already said what that would have said if I got it. You know, I'm not a completist, so I won't be getting the other figures in this wave. I've got the 2 that I want to continue my representation of He-Man love on my toy shelf behind me. So let's go ahead and open Whiplash. Arr! All right, so here we go. I do love the opening. It does remind me of being a kid. Here, once again, here is the mini comic. The mini comic that has no title. The mini comic that has no words. I'm gonna make up a story. Maybe I will make a movie compared, to all these mini comics without the words. Okay, well, here he is. Nice green. I do like that color of green, don't you? And he comes with an orange staff in the back. If we pop it out, you're gonna notice that I should have. Why am I doing this? All right, I'm back. I shouldn't have done that. So here he is. Like I said, I do like the color green he is in, but he is packaged with his tail a little separate to go on the back. But we're going to get a closer look at him as well as his staff in a moment. But let's move on to who else we got right here. You know what I love getting is that these have the peg holes not even punched out. So they are obviously, factory direct. We know that I do get them online. You're not going to find these in stores forever. So. All right, so here we go with King Randor. I'm going to open him up right now. He comes in the same wave, so we know that the comic book is the same. So we'll put that right there. It's funny. I think that, oh my gosh, their staffs are identical. They're just a different color. Woohoo! That must have made it easy for them. Hold, please. Okay, I have got him out of his prison. Do you notice something? Does he not look like the long-lost twin brother of a certain Gen Extinct fast food mascot? I know you know exactly who I'm talking about. Anyway, we got a soft goods cape here on the back, and I said we have a spear as well. So that's about it. So why don't we take a closer look at all the details of these guys and see just how well they compare, because up next it's Carousel. King Randor appeared as a king. No, not that king. Get out of here. A king in the mini comics before appearing on the Filmation series, as they always annoyed at his son, Prince Adam, King Randor. Can you believe it? He didn't know Adam was He-Man, right? Randor shines on the runway with a reddish-orange tunic and matching armor. Très chic. His ochre tights juxtaposed against that royal blue cape. Wait, now would you call that blue admiral or cobalt? Well, nobody cares about that cobalt shit. This is King Randor. Okay, enough with the BK King. And what I called soft goods earlier is really a very pliable soft plastic cape fastened by a gold braided cord. Now here's where I show off articulation to mimic that lovely cardback art. Yes, it can be done. But how does he compare to Skeletor's evil warriors? When Whiplash appeared on the scene, it was around the same time as his action figure. An evil warrior with a lot of brute strength. He didn't always have a lot going on upstairs. As with all MOTU origins, this is intended to reimagine the original toy line. For him, that means right down to that very silly and often debated middle tooth. Some origins update the character slightly. It would have been nice if he got a little treatment. I'm talking a little movement or placement of that tooth, for God's sake, nothing drastic. His tail comes separate in the box to snap in, which allows it to rotate, but I'm not really sure why you would. It doesn't look that great. Although he's got really one big ass chin, it doesn't really restrict the range of motion at all. Here he is posed like his cardback art, perhaps not as much range as you would hope. It's close and it does look good. Does that spear look familiar? Speaking of familiar, doesn't his whole body remind you of somebody else?
I, Skeletor, have another warrior named Whiplash!
Battle Armor He-Man and Skeletor, Whiplash and Buzz-Off, each sold separately.
And I, He-Man, have a powerful winged warrior named Buzz-Off! So it's the super stinger Buzz-Off against the vicious tail of Whiplash! Ha-ha! Now, may the mightiest warrior win!
Buzz-Off and Whiplash figures are new from the Masters of the Universe collection. Other action figures also sold separately from Mattel.
Well, why not start comparison time with this? Even in the 80s, these two characters, one a good B-man and one an evil gator guy, couldn't be furthest from one another, but a close look proves that they are made from the same stuff. I mean, the mold, of course. Besides the head, hands, and just the forearms, these characters' body builds are exactly the same ones. Amazing what a paint job can do, and I'm not against reuse. This is a great example. The stripes on their chest, the scalloped arms and legs, and even the textured skin will amaze you how they can reduce cost. Even in their backpacks, either for a set of wings or a tail, are all set up the same. This is really an awesome way that we are assured to get all of our favorite characters. All right, let's compare Whiplash, the MOTU Origins action figure. Let's get a quick reminder of what his animation model looked like. This is how he looks today. This is his packaging back in the late 80s when he was released, as well as a close-up of his action figure. You can really see that tooth. Now, he has been redone in a couple ways, in hyper-realistic with an action feature in the Mike Young 2000X line, as well as Masters of the Universe Classics, where they actually did know what to do with that tooth. I wish that would have rolled over into MOTU. So as for a homage to the original, he's perfect. Before we move on to Randor over the years comparison, we might as well take a look at that armor. Look familiar? It absolutely does. It is once again amazing how a little different paint can make you believe this is a full nother character, full nother set of armor. So the original Ninjor has the same armor as Randor. So pretty easy and pretty cost-effective way to get additional characters out, and they still look great. As is well known, King Randor was one of the last released in the original toy line and has that new star on his packaging. And as usual, let's get a reminder of how he looked in the animated series. His toy is incredible because you can see how they really stuck to it closely. Now, he's been redone over time. He was made a Staction figure in the 2000X line, but Classics not only redid his original, but they gave him his Filmation look as well. So no matter what, it is nice to have this addition to MOTU Origins, and he does look like the original. Really well done. What do you guys think of those two? They look pretty good, and gonna run out and get them. So, my toy shelf behind me, that is my specific representation of my favorite franchises made famous in the 1980s. And these two are a great addition. As a matter of fact, as you know, I'm not a completist, but I'm really only still adding to both my Transformers and my Masters of the Universe collections because they just keep churning them out. So I'm going to grab them. Well, I always said I would get the Eternian playset. I never had the original, but how many kids really did? And here we are, MOTU Origins debuts this huge playset, and I think the sale day has come and gone. Yes, it went on sale online. Did you get it? I mean, I didn't think the price was astronomical, to be perfectly honest, but did you get there on time? Were you one of the first few thousands that also got the MOTU Origins King Grayskull? Well, I collect Masters of the Universe Origins, absolutely. And like I said, it wasn't about the price, but this was like a planet-sized playset. And I had to make a decision, and I decided that I wouldn't get it. So I didn't even try. Now, I did go get Grizzlor online, so that wasn't a problem, but I just decided perhaps it's too big for my room. I don't know. Am I going to regret it? No. Do I want it? Absolutely. It would be fun. I love playsets in general. So, am I making a bad decision? Did I make a bad decision? Is it too late? Probably. Either way, I'm really happy with what I do have on my shelf. I've got Mechaneck and Cobra Khan and Rattler and King Hiss and all those other characters that I still want to collect. But I think I'm going to be okay without the Eternian playset. I'm going to let that piece go down in history just like the original did in the 1980s. So, what do you think? What do you think of my collection? How you guys doing out there? I want to thank you for joining me. Hope you enjoyed this, coming along with me as well. Please join me for some great other Halloween content coming to PopCon, a salute to all pop culture, but mostly the 80s. And don't forget, help me out, help this channel grow, and tell YouTube to get this video out in front of bigger audiences, people like you and I. You can do that by clicking like and, of course, click subscribe. This channel deserves to grow, don't you think? Thanks, guys, for being here. Until next time.